How's it going, everyone? In this video, we have some big news on Bayley, a new AEW signing, and a whole lot more. But before we begin, please make sure to drop a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. Alright guys, so for our first story of today, we have the ratings for Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Rampage, and Collision. So according to a new report from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, Friday Night SmackDown drew 1,568,000 viewers with a 0.45 in the key demo rating. AEW Rampage drew 276,000 viewers and a 0.08 in the key demo rating, and AEW Collision drew 435,000 viewers with a 0.13 in the key demo rating. Next up, we have the latest health update on Killswitch, as Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reports that Killswitch, real name Austin Madelson, was found by his fiancée collapsed this past Friday, after which he was taken to the hospital, and upon admission, his blood oxygen level was found to be below 80%, which is very low considering the normal level is between 95 and 100%. Moreover, doctors also discovered that Madelson had pneumonia in both of his lungs, and that he was, quote, days away from permanent lung damage. Madelson has been on oxygen since Friday and was reportedly told that he would need more than a month to recover, and it could be even longer before he's ready to return to in-ring competition. We wish Killswitch all the best in his recovery. Next, we have some big news that a top WWE star will be out of action for several months. Because following a recent WWE live event in Columbus, the company announced on Raw this week that Ilya Dragunov suffered a torn ACL in his match against Gunther over the weekend, which means that he will sadly be on the shelf for 6 to 9 months. Next, we have some news that an ex-WWE star is reportedly headed to AEW. So even though it appeared like negotiations between the two sides fell apart in the spring of this year, according to a new report from WrestlePurists, former Intercontinental Champion Shelton Benjamin is in fact AEW bound and is expected to sign with the company very soon. Moving on to our next story, we have some bad news for Bayley, because despite going through multiple obstacles in order to get her rematch against Nia Jax, according to BetOnline.com, it looks like Bayley will be unsuccessful in recapturing her WWE Women's title at Bad Blood, as Nia Jax is currently the favorite to win this Saturday. So now guys, I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on all of the stories that we discussed today. Starting off with our first story, we did talk about the ratings for Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Rampage, and Collision, and from the looks of it guys, it does appear like SmackDown and also Collision did see a pretty nice increase in the ratings department, but as always, Rampage did see a drop in viewership, which is pretty typical for Rampage because they usually draw around the 200,000 around the 250,000-270,000 viewer mark, which is not really surprising, but I do think that once AEW gets rid of Rampage, which is believed to be the case, and then introduce AEW Shockwave in its place, I do think that Shockwave will be drawing better numbers in my opinion. The other story that we talked about was on Luchasaurus, and some pretty concerning news for Luchasaurus, but it does appear like things are headed towards the right direction because Fightful Select did report that Luchasaurus, this past Friday, his fiancée found him and he was collapsed. He was then taken to a hospital, and as of right now, he is getting treatment for his condition, and it is reported that Killswitch will be out of action for about a month, but very good news for Luchasaurus that he is, or for Killswitch I should say, that he is in the hospital recovering. Next, we also talked about Ilya Dragunov, and sadly, Ilya Dragunov is, you could say, he is now on the list with several WWE stars who are out of action with knee injuries, specifically an ACL injury. WWE did report on Monday Night Raw that Ilya Dragunov did suffer an ACL tear on Saturday in his match against Gunther at a WWE live event, and is expected to be out of action for 6 to 9 months, which is a very sad situation for Ilya Dragunov, because if you remember just a few weeks ago, it was reported that WWE was thinking about having this match between Gunther and Ilya Dragunov go down in the future, but obviously now that Dragunov will have to be sidelined for many months, it does look like that match will be put on hold. But we wish Dragunov all the best in his recovery, and hopefully he takes all of the time that he needs in order for him to return at 100%, because as we all know, knee injuries, ACL injuries are very tough injuries that take a while to recover from. The other story that we talked about was on another AEW signing, and that person is none other than Shelton Benjamin, who was pretty much expected to be joining the company, and WrestlePurist is reporting that Shelton Benjamin is basically AEW bound, and he should be signing with the company very soon. And I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin debut at the same time. We all know that MVP did debut on AEW Dynamite last week, so I wouldn't be surprised to see both Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin debut as a team together. And I'm very excited to see what Tony Khan has planned for the new version of, I guess you could say, the Hurt Business in AEW. And I'm pretty sure if booked correctly, I do think that Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Bobby Lashley could be very top, could be seen as top superstars in AEW. The other story that we talked about was on Bayley, and sadly, it does not look good for Bayley against her match against Nia Jax, because according to BetOnline.com, they are saying that Bayley is not the favorite to walk out of Bad Blood as the champion, because Nia Jax is overwhelmingly the heavy favorite to retain her title, and that makes pretty much a lot of sense in my opinion, because I do think that Bayley, despite the fact that she is still very much over with fans, I do think that WWE is wanting to move away from Bayley and to potentially move into this new feud between Nia Jax and also Tiffany Stratton, which in my opinion, guys, I think is very good, because I do think that it is very important to have other superstars challenge for the main title, and I do think that Tiffany Stratton is someone who, despite being a heel character, she is cheered by many fans, and she has a ton of fans, so seeing her eventually turn babyface against Nia Jax is a very good decision in my opinion, and I'm excited to see that feud go down when it eventually happens. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the news that we have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.